And we're back with another episode of the Lakers Fast Break podcast. This is Gerald Glassford coming right back at you here for the Lakers Fast Break. Pop Culture Cosmos, where we cover the latest news and trends in pop culture each and every week, twice a week, wherever you get your podcasts. On this week's Pop Culture Cosmos, which Josh has asked me to record tomorrow morning, hopefully. If not, I got it back up. I will upload very quickly. But if we do get a chance to record tomorrow morning, we will be talking about Conjuring Last Rites, one of the highest horror openings ever worldwide. The Last Rites? Yeah, no, I'm sorry. The studio is not saying no now to The Conjuring after the huge opening for The Last Rites on a period where it's going to thought it would be dead in the box office. So we talk about, well, hopefully we'll talk about that, plus a whole bunch more coming out this week as far as movies later on this week. By the way, shh, don't tell anybody I said this, but the movie you need to see this week besides Demon Slayer is Spinal Tap. Spinal Tap 2 coming back to theaters. Spinal Tap 2, The End Continues. We'll talk about that hopefully this week on the Pop Culture Cosmos and more also as well. In fact, Borderlands 4 is also coming out. So a big week. Hollow Knight, Silksong came out. So go ahead and we'll just stop on by the Pop Culture Cosmos. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk about that indeed. Inside Sports, Fantasy Football. Hopefully your fantasy football team is doing well for this week. The first weekend. Don't panic yet. Don't panic. Don't panic because it's just week one. Maybe make some tweaks, changes, waiver wires, stuff like that. But don't panic just yet. It is just week one in the NFL. Some new players got a chance to go ahead and thrive. Some well thought of players didn't do so. And then there's the standbys, like we just saw right here with Baltimore and Buffalo. So go ahead and hear what Chris Sardieri and I have to say this week on Inside Sports Fantasy Football. Am I going to go see him? You know what? I'm going to be honest with you, Antoine. I was really kind of psyched for it in August when I first saw it. And I saw, oh man, Jordan Peele. Sweet, next Jordan Peele movie. Because all they kept on saying is by Jordan Peele, Jordan Peele, Jordan Peele. Then I realized he's only executive producing. And his next movie himself that he's directing has just been bumped off a, what was it, 26? Or 2027 schedule. It's been bumped up the schedule, the next one that he's currently in making. So he's only executive producing it. So I don't know yet, Antoine. I'm on the fence. I want to see what the reviews are for him because I was really let down when I realized, oh, he's not directing it because Jordan Peele's such a craftsman as far as making these movies that he has made, Get Out, and of course everything else since then. He has not quite reached the heights of Get Out. I mean, that is just truly a magnificent piece of art, but there's still, he's had some good stuff going out there since then as well. And don't forget his stuff that he did on the Twilight Zone. So if you I've got Paramount Plus, check out the Twilight Zone. It's pretty good. The one that he did. I just sad that he couldn't continue it because I know he had a love for that show as well. What's up, Jeremy? He loves Sinners. Yeah, thank you. Sinners is good. It's really good. One of the best movies of the year so far. So, yes, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Much better than Happy Gilmore 2 for you, Jeremy, I bet. So, yes, I'm glad you got a chance to enjoy it. Indeed. Great to have you here. King Soros said he would be here at 9 p.m. It's 9:07. Sorry. You know the King. He's always late, but he will. Or at least he said he would be here, so hopefully he'll join us. Luka Doncic is the topic once again, and as we get closer to training camp for us here at the Lakers Fast Break, we want to go ahead and mention not only for you to like and subscribe, go ahead and give everybody a big shout out, including Daniel Barry Sports Highlights. Yo! Also as well, of course, the Lakerholics crew, Lakerholics.com. Empire Jeff TV, who was at the Rams game earlier today, obviously supporting the LA teams. Go ahead and hear what he has to say about the Lakers and, of course, the Dodgers, who won today. So hopefully that alleviates a little bit. It's just interesting. The oldest pitcher on the team is the one who has the best record on the team. Interesting how that was after yesterday's crushing defeat, just snatched out of the hands of victory in that ninth inning. I said fix the bullpen for the Dodgers. I said that. I said been saying that for a while. No one wants to listen, but oh well. My weekend's been pretty good. Been pretty active. I'm working on a lot of stuff behind the scenes for you guys because it's leading into some content I may be able to put out starting next week. If you're a member, you are going to get that content first. So if you want to become a member today, it's $2.99 a month. But yes, I've been working pretty hard behind the scenes as far as getting a lot of stuff, new content on the way. Something that I've done before that I'd like to do again, but make sure that I get it in a way that's presented best for the members first, and then it gets released to everyone else at a later time. But yeah, if you do want to catch that coming up here starting next week, I'll probably go ahead and make sure I'm able to announce it at that time. But yeah, it's going to be hopefully some regular content to fill up the time that you're waiting for the Lakers training camp indeed. So yeah, definitely looking forward to that. But also as well, of course, I'm looking forward to continuing on with us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. So if you like and subscribe, please do so. So you can go ahead and catch up what you're doing with us right here at the Lakers Fast Break. Jeremy says, did you see Alcaraz beat Sinner? The direct sheet, I was glad to see him. Oh, yeah. Alcaraz. But then there's of course, what's upcoming here, pretty soon with, coming up here in Las Vegas, coming up at the stadium. So definitely looking forward to seeing about that upcoming big back boxing match as well. Tough So says, gee, do we have enough beef up front? A little worried about that part. No, we don't, Tough. I'm not going to tell you right now. We don't. When you've got Jackson Hayes as your backup, and we all know what happened with Jackson Hayes and how well he was thought of and how well he executed when given the opportunity, even as a backup. Again, if he's not catching a lob, what else is he doing for you? That's been a problem. So no, the answer is no. We do not have enough beef up front, especially if these teams are going to a more, because it'll be the thing of the day is let's go and have two big bodies out there like OKC with of course Chet and Hartenstein, of course also as well Houston. They have been putting up two big bodies constantly as well as far as that's concerned. And then there are other teams now. The Clippers have that capability to go ahead and put 2 7-footers out there at the same time, doing different things for them. These teams are getting a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier up front. And they're utilizing that beef up front. New York as well. Remember when Robinson came back, was providing them a lift because Towns could go ahead and play off him up to 4. So yes, it is concerning me that the Lakers don't have enough beef up front. Tough, and doesn't look like Rob is going to be addressing it anytime soon, but we will see. But here he is. King Soro, indeed. You got to go ahead and make sure you catch him today. Of course, the Joe Soro experiment on YouTube, where next time we'll be talking about how good a job Clayton Kershaw did, how bad a job the Dodgers bullpen did, which we will not talk about. Also, as well, how good Aaron Rodgers looked for him in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform as they take that game in there was really just 2 really interesting games, I thought, in Pittsburgh New York versus Pittsburgh, and then also as well, of course, the one we just caught just now with Baltimore and Buffalo. But here to talk about Luka Doncic and his great effort, it is, of course, Joe Soro. And Joe, great to have you here, my friend.
Thank you. I was telling the boys on our group chat that this is probably one of the best weeks I can remember the NFL having from my perspective. I thought the kickoff return setup was brilliant. It was beautiful to see the kickoff return come back to the NFL. And I am excited for the execution of everything. I thought the officiating was very good this week. And we saw some good games. We saw some duds, but overall, it's still still a huge win. And I don't remember, I can't remember the last time it felt like this after a Sunday. It's always been something where we hear about some bad call or there's something going on with something else, whatever. But I was very very happy after today.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a good weekend in the NFL. No controversies so far. Knock on wood. Let's hope the Monday night game is going to be good and clean and fun and interesting. The YouTube performance seems to be take it or leave it. Hey, it was on YouTube. I think I give credit for that. I know this the antiquated high school rule will prevent I guess from I think they can do one more before they're not allowed to go ahead and do it again. Hopefully they can get rid of that antiquated high school rule where they can't do it show games on Fridays because I kind of like that Thursday Friday leading you into the weekend, then topping it off for the Monday so you can get that NFL full weekend. I know a lot of people are saying, hey, there's a lot of places you have to see it now. No more broadcast television as far as it's concerned, as far as only one game that they show. I know there's a lot of flack on that, but it just seems like it was just an enjoyable period to watch football this weekend.
When it comes to broadcasting, when it comes to 2025 abilities, it doesn't matter anymore. For those of us who are technology savvy, it's irrelevant. And when I mean savvy, I'm not talking about computer science and coding. No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about knowing how to work the internet, knowing what's out there that you can use to circumvent the nonsense of having to have 50 different avenues to watching anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't their fault. This isn't anyone's fault. This is your fault. You, the consumer. You complained and you whined years ago about cable being expensive, about satellite being expensive. So what did they do? Okay, fine. You guys are cutting the cord. We're going to create content through this particular stream, whatever, and we're going to give you what you want. You said you just want this. Well, we're going to give you this. You want Landman? You want Yellowstone? You go to Paramount. Boom. You got it. And then, unfortunately, sorry, you got to go watch The Hunting Wives on Netflix. That's
boom, you got it there.
Right? So don't come back now. And I know a lot of the people that were complaining back then are not the people now. They were kids then or not even born yet. But that's what that created. Now, for me, and I say this not to be arrogant. I say this so that you know the credibility behind it. I have not stopped paying for satellite because I like the convenience. And I'm very tech savvy. And they still have not been able to beat the DVR experience on satellite or cable. Anything that's through an app, anything that's through a streaming setup, it can't touch it. TiVo, you remember TiVo, Gerald?
I do.
That technology, had they kept rolling with it, would have eventually been one of the best. Because I thought at the time TiVo was one of the best inventions of our time. And then slowly the cable and satellite companies started doing their own DVRs and didn't do a bad job. But TiVo had this special thing. I always felt like it was a step ahead of every other DVR. But what it did was it got me to a point where the convenience part was worth paying for. Because I'll pay for convenience and I'll pay for quality. Most people won't. That's why we live in a Walmart society. That's why I've been preaching this. And I'm not saying preaching as in like preaching like a preacher, just letting you know this is why things have gone this way. It's your fault. You want a cheap crap? This is the result of that. If you had paid for the good stuff, they would have kept making the good stuff. And then you'd have one place to watch the NFL on a satellite area, a cable area, whatever, instead of 14 different areas. So that's it. I can watch any football game anywhere I am in any device at any time. Whether it's on the Peacock, whether it's on Netflix, whether it's in Brazil, whether it's in freaking Zimbabwe. It does not matter. If I want to watch something, I can watch it and not even hesitate to watch it. So cheers to the NFL again, and cheers to my team. I was it's not entertaining when it's going on. And when you win, it becomes entertaining. Although I have said some games that the Steelers have lost were entertaining and it was a good game, but it's always a little bit better when they win. But I was congratulations to Aaron Rodgers. I saw a guy that I was worried about after the first quarter. I thought, oh my God, how's this guy going to last 17 games? How's this guy going to last this game? The offensive line was absolutely horrendous, and the defensive line was horrendous. But Aaron Rodgers being Aaron Rodgers and the four-time MVP and the future Hall of Famer showed that he still has a lot left. And going to the Super Bowl isn't likely unless they fix the trenches, because the trenches did not look very good. They won despite the trenches, and it was nice to see them win it on the road, even though the Jets are known to not be that good of a team. But the Jets played well as well.
We'll see how long he stands upright, Joe, like you're talking about with the line. I was talking to some Raider fans today, and I told them they need to worry about their run blocking, because even though, yes, they did win in New England today, they still can't run the ball worth a damn. And, Genty, he's a top flight level back that you drafted, and you're not giving him any holes to run through. It doesn't matter if you're Jim Brown. If you've got no holes to run through, then you're not going to be able to get yardage. But Geno Smith came to play today for the Raiders. I know a lot of people are happy about that. Aaron Rodgers, like you said, if you can keep him upright, he may be able to keep the Steelers in a lot of games, despite what Joe says about the lines and about, of course, Tomlin's coaching from time to time as well. But yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing more of the NFL again. Inside Sports Fantasy Football later this week. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to talk more about it. But while all this was going on, Joe, overseas in EuroBasket League, heading closer and closer to the title game for EuroBasketball, Luka Doncic, after starting 0-2, has taken his team on a little bit of a bender there, my friend, because he once again carried his team to victory. I think it's their fourth straight, or is it their third straight?
Mm-hmm.
Five. I think they've won at least 3 in a row, right there, with another just awesome first half, Joe. 30 points in the first half, 42 points, 10 rebounds. The big thing again, Joe, he is hitting his free throws, 15 of 16. He's getting to the free throw line, he's getting the call, and he's making the free throws. Today, he even hit 3-pointers, 5 of 11 from 3 points. Did not actually do well with the assists, only 1 assist, 4 turnovers. But hey, he had such a dominant first half performance. The second half surge by Italy was just not enough, Joe.
So I had a chance to see some of the highlights, and it's unfortunate that I haven't been able to sit down and watch the Luka games. It's just you have to pick and choose sometimes. I need to retire, and then I can do that. I might have a chance to do it maybe soon. And when I say retire, I mean the choice to retire. I'm still going to work. I'm just saying the choice to retire. This man is so talented. And when you add top peak performance for health, drive, thirsty, chip on their shoulder, and hitting his free throws, thank you, Luka, for listening. He must have heard us a few weeks back when we said that. Luka's hitting 5 of 11 from 3 in games and hitting 15 of 16 from the free throw line. You're gonna have a problem. You're gonna have a problem despite the Lakers' inadequacies in certain parts of the game, because that is just he just has this ability to, just like most of the greats, is he can carry things. And if that can inspire everyone around him, and if JJ Redick can can adapt that into the team philosophy and its way of mentally focusing on that and taking advantage of that, it's going to serve very, very well. The Lakers were a 3rd seed last year with Luka only playing 2 months in the year, with most of the lineup kind of inadequate. So now what are you going to do when you've added some talent where you didn't have talent, even if it's minimal? And then maybe you have a couple guys play a little bit better than they did last year. Now you're going to have Luka doing what he's doing. It could be very encouraging once things get started.
And I'm just looking forward to seeing what's going to go on. Dennis Schroeder, they play up next against Germany, so looking forward to that. Maybe Vari once again, or Mark, aka Xbox. Those guys will go ahead and be able to shoot it on our playback.tv / Lakers Fast Break channel like they did earlier today. And thank you guys for doing so. I didn't get any heads up of that. I'm sorry. So supposedly when you do that and when you put something on playback, it's supposed to alert the followers. We have over 300 followers there, so I don't really know how that's not working, or people not getting the notification yet. So I do apologize for that, Vari. But yes, playback. Keep an eye on it. .tv / Lakers Fast Break. These guys are popping up the games on there, so keep an eye on that, and not just the Slovenia games. From time to time, Mark or Vari might put up a different Euro game as well, so keep an eye on that. And you never know what other sports may be on Joe's or my channel on playback as well. So go ahead and become followers today to find out what's going on right there on playback. But Joe, I'm very happy to see Luka already in mid-season dominant form. I know that a lot of concern. We had that on the last show as well, and a lot of concern still. JSJ is almost probably biting his fingers to the nub as far as his fingernails per se, because he's nervous, as am I, about how much wear and tear is this putting on Luka. It is 4 or 5 games. No, it's actually 5 or 6 games in now. As far as the EuroBasket League, there's still plenty of time for him to catch his breath, even if they get eliminated against Germany or later this week. Your thoughts on it? Are you concerned at all about Luka doing so much within weeks of training camp?
Not at all. This is a 26-year-old, finely tuned athlete, and he's in shape and he's focused. This is the time when you play this way. And he has the ability to play like this for another 5 years, especially with good health like this. He's going to go into the season already with air in his lungs. And in terms of how this will play out in the tournament, again, I apologize. I haven't been able to watch the games fully and really invest my time in it. But it turns out that France, with all their talent, just got bounced. Am I correct?
Yes.
And that is
Vive la France.
Vive la France. Yeah, Vive la France.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out.
And I'm gonna explain this so that, because I feel like I've been explaining this for the last few months about the Dodgers. When you create good habits, even if it's something simple, it ventures into the good stuff, the real stuff, the big stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going to be someone who gets up in the morning and does the simplest thing, get up in the morning and handle whatever task I need to handle, as much as I don't want to get up, you handle them in the morning, right? And then all of a sudden what happens is, just like when you go to the gym, or let's say before you go to the gym, you're contemplating going to the gym because you're tired or you don't want to get up. Well, once you get to the gym, just get there, your body will adjust. And there's never anyone in the history of any working out has ever regretted working out when they didn't want to go at the beginning. It's you're always going to be happy that you went, right? So you create these habits now in the EuroBasket League, these focused deficiencies that Luka had because of weight issues, because of the trade, because of the team, because of injuries, whatever. He comes into this summer focused health-wise, and he's showing his skill set like he always does, and it's above. It's starting to look like it's even above what we've seen. And then on top of that, he's fine-tuning the little things that he hasn't been doing well and making them an important part of his game. So he's going to start these habits now in this tournament. And if he wins the tournament, he doesn't have to win the tournament, but if he does, he now starts training camp with this kind of prize of winning, that feeling of winning. And he's going to naturally want to bring that into the next phase of his work. That's what this is about. That's when they talked about Michael Jordan and people who are highly competitive, they want to win everything. They want to win in card games. They want to win in dice games. They want to win jumping from one place to another because they're bored. That competition, that constant mindset of winning spills into everything. And when you don't do that, you get the result of what the Dodgers have been dealing with the last 2 months. All those games that I was telling you about, 18-1, 18-2, 20-1, 20-2, whatever it was. Now, losing 18-1 once, okay, it was a bad game. You got your butt whooped. But when you give up and you start those bad habits of giving up, and then not only that, you lose those games to teams like the Miami Marlins and the A's. Really? I mean, Jeff had said, I don't know if we don't have proof, but I think it makes sense. When they were pitching Kike in the ninth innings, I'm like, what are they doing? What are you doing? You're making a mockery of the game like this. And then finally, I remember when I finally had gotten fed up with it. Actually, it was a couple games before I really got fed up with it. You stop seeing it because I think Jeff said he thinks that the league obviously, hey, man, cut this shit out. This is getting stupid now. You're letting these guys pitch because you want to save your guys, and they're allowing 8-9 runs. That sets bad habits. Luka's setting good habits. That's going to help the Lakers going into training camp, going into the preseason, obviously get into the regular season. This is nothing but good. Very excited. Very excited to see Luka possibly have an MVP season.
Once again, it is the Lakers Fast Break. It is Joe Soro along with me, Joe Glassford. Thanks again for watching this. I truly appreciate it. You talked about that, and I was actually flipping the channels on YouTube TV on Saturday, and for 10 seconds, I turned on the Angels game, saw that they had a fielder, I believe it was, pitching up gopher balls, literally almost like an eephus pitch, to the A's as they had lost 17-4. And I turned on for like 3 pitches, saw a home run go, and I'm just like, I think I'm done. Yeah, that's absolutely about what you said. Like a culture of losing. The culture of losing is there in Anaheim, and it's been there for quite some time, and will continue to be such until a revamp of the organization is done. With the Lakers, Luka is there to change whatever culture changing is going to be needed. I know that Turbo talked about how LeBron better not think that this is going to be his team. How are you going to take that away from LeBron? LeBron has been the man for all these years. I understand that he wants to deflect towards Luka, but there'll always be that temptation by him to go ahead and say, you know what, in those tight spots, I'm going to go ahead and take command or take charge. That's the one thing I kind of worry about a little bit, Joe, is that give and take. Knowing when you need to cede to Luka to take control of certain situations, and knowing when you need to take advantage of it yourself if you're LeBron.
You're going to need to have a coach that understands that and make sure that LeBron doesn't turn into Scottie Pippen in 1994. That's going to be very important. And if he does, not giving a damn. I don't think LeBron will do that. But LeBron has an asset at the end of games if he goes to the basket. If he can get to the basket on a last-second shot, that is his asset. That's when he can be clutch. But if that doesn't present itself, I would like a specific play that'll allow Luka to get the ball in a spot that would give him space, allow him to have some elevation, whatever, so that he can make a shot that he and a few people in the league can make when it matters. That's who he is. He has a clutch gene. It was very, very disappointing, and it was when I kind of swayed away from Redick towards the end of the year, was because the fact that he could not put together a play for the most clutch player on his team. I couldn't understand why Luka didn't get one shot in the clutch the entire time he was there.
Because we were hard on Darvin Ham almost from the get-go. We saw that it just was not going to be a fit. And by the time that it ended, the Lakers themselves, the team themselves, I mean, you talked to Anthony Davis, the training camp after he left last season, and he was just saying, he didn't mince words. Really, you could tell exactly how happy he was as far as a different voice in the locker room. But the problem is, now that JJ has been there a year and we've seen some of the decision making he has made, now that you've got Luka in the prime of his career that can take a team on his back, looking like he's already taking Slovenia on his back, probably to an elevated status than what they probably should have been in this EuroBasket tournament, considering all the players around him. This is not a strong Slovenian team. He has the ability to take players and put them on his back and take them to places they weren't prepared to go. And the thing could happen as well with the Lakers, but I'm concerned, Joe, that JJ, like you said, may not be able to help build a game plan to free him up, to give him those opportunities to do just that.
Did Luka really have the floater in Indiana? Was that a play made for him, or was that how it just kind of played? I gotta go back and look at that. I don't remember that.
It kind of looked like a set play, if I remember.
Was it a set play?
Yeah, the one where LeBron tipped it in. Correct. This is the day after the Chicago.
Okay, so the one time Luka was trusted by Redick to make a last-second shot ended up being a shot that connected with a winning shot. So I'm not trying to deviate from the specifics. I'm not trying to work around it, but think about it. How many times did we see Kobe Bryant take the last shot, and all of a sudden here comes Pau Gasol with a tip in, or Ron Artest with a tip in, or Derek Fisher with a shot? Guys, you think it was a coincidence that the Lakers had so many clutch players? I'm gonna set Ori aside for a second. Ori was clutch before he came to the Lakers, especially in '95. But he wasn't clutch in terms of last-second shot clutch. Like, that didn't develop until he came to the Lakers. So now you have Robert Horry, who's making clutch jump shots because they're drawn to Kobe, right? Fish does the same thing. And then later, after those guys are gone, now you had Powell hitting game-winning shots. Then you had Ron Artest hitting game-winning shots. You had Derek Fisher hitting game-winning shots. So I'm just saying, I watched all these games. The focus is on Kobe. Hell, even Ron Harper hit a clutch shot in Game 3 in the 2000 Western Conference Finals, wide open, and that should be credited to Ron Harper because he actually called that play. He told Kobe, he told Phil, he said, "Hey, I'm going to be open." I think he told Kobe. I don't know if he told Phil. Likely told Phil, but I know him and Kobe were talking. He goes, "Hey, I'm going to be wide open from 16 out on the corner. Just get it to me, and I'll make it." And he did, and they won that game. So even in that one draw, let's say they did draw that up for him, right? Okay, they drew that last-second shot. It ended up being a winning shot indirectly because now it left LeBron open to make the putback.
I'll say this, Joe. Well, let me say this, that the Lakers at last season, people forget the Lakers last season were one of the best teams in the league in games less than with a margin of 10 points or less. So the Lakers played a ton of close games last year and more than won their share of them.
Talking about last year, it's difficult to say much other than disappointment when it comes to gameplay. In terms of what came about, it was a franchise shifting move and getting Luka Doncic. That part was great, but the Lakers left much to desire in terms of how they played basketball towards the end of the year. And a lot of it maybe wasn't their fault. Not having a center, not having any bigs, actually, really. They really just didn't have any bigs, and they got exposed in the playoffs. I just thought they'd get exposed in the second round more than the first round. I didn't think Minnesota would expose them as bad as they did, but it happened.
But it is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us. Turbo says Derek Fisher, what he did against Dwight Howard. And by the way, congratulations to Dwight Howard and also Carmelo Anthony on their induction into the Hall of Fame. Can we stop with the let's get Dwight Howard back on the team? Can we do that now, please, now that he's been inducted into the Hall of Fame? Can we just do that, please? Because I even saw some comments on that this summer. He's retired. He's in the Hall of Fame now. Can we just do that, please? Thank you. And just congratulations to both of them. Nick T says benching AR is an alternative because there is no options, Nick. You did not give me an option. I just said there are no options right now. Marcus Smart has only played 54 games in the past 2 seasons. We have to see if he can stay healthy for 20 games before you decide that. And the Lakers, again, won 50 games last year, and at the end of the season, they did have that starting lineup. Now, I will agree with you that it is a problem defensively, but during the season, they can get away with those things. Playoffs, obviously, they have to do something about that. And as far as finding more defense along the perimeter, I would not argue with that there. But during the season, they have to start their best players right now that are out there that can go out there. And we don't know if Marcus Smart can stay healthy at this point in time. Past 2 seasons, he's not been able to do so. So let's see if he can stay healthy first and be able to impact the game anywhere near like he used to before you go ahead and make that change, Joe.
I'm going to be curious to see what they do. I'd like to see something different coming into the year. I would like to. I'm hoping Jay can sit with his boy LeBron and give him that speech that Pat Riley gave Kareem before he went to Magic, or whichever way it ended up happening. I think the joke was Pat Riley told Magic in 1987, "I need you to do more." And the first question Magic asked was, "Does Kareem know?" Out of respect. It was never confirmed if he had talked to Kareem first, right? So in this case, talk to LeBron first and let him know we need Luka to be the pilot. We need him to be the captain, and this is going to help you in the long run. And if he understands that, a rested LeBron is a asset LeBron. Number 2, number 1, number 3, it's irrelevant. I told you. If you think that you can run a play that allows LeBron to get to the basket at the end of games when you need a point or two, that's still the play you should run. I'm never going to be against that. Never. Even if it gets blocked, even if he gets bodied and he misses the shot, whatever. Hey, you know what? They used his greatest asset, getting to the basket, to try to win the game. Fine. You all have seen it. It usually works out. think the worst one was the Celtic game when they didn't call the foul when the guy slapped him in the arm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you're gonna play that game, that's gonna help this team. If not, you're not. I don't want LeBron shooting from 3 on a regular basis at the end of games. I'd rather have Luka doing that. So
Even
those
if he's shooting around 40%.
I don't care. Luka can make those shots. LeBron isn't
In
known to
clutch.
make those shots, at least
Okay.
not in the clutch. So you have to let Luka captain this team. And JJ needs to make sure that the best lineups are in the game. We don't cater to anyone, not LeBron, not anyone in management, no one. You cater to the best possible lineup every game in and game out. It's going to be very obvious. We know the talent on this team. If I see somebody in there that's not supposed to be in there or supposed to be relied on to do certain basketball skills at this point in their career, then I'm going to start understanding that JJ Redick is trying to appease certain things versus trying to win. And we know the Lakers have a bad habit of accommodating against winning. We've gone over that a few times. And no, I am not talking about giving Kobe Bryant a big $30 million a year contract the last 2 years of his career. That whole situation those years was completely different than what they are now. The Lakers are in the game right now to win a championship. They're trying to win a championship. They were not trying to win a championship, nor could they have in 15 and 16. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given Kobe that money. If they were 1 star away in the summer of 2015 from competing for a championship, there's no way the Lakers would have paid Kobe $30 million a year. They would have said, Kobe, we have to go on with somebody else. Just like Dr. Buzz did with Shaq. Shaq, I can't pay you $30 million a year. I can pay you 20. But then at the same time, you and Kobe ain't going to get along. It's best I trade you now. There's a psychology to it, but it has to be catered to winning. Winning in a competitive game, in a competitive business like this, unique business is all that matters. You're not selling paper clips. You're not selling printing paper. This is sports. You have to do both. And only one matters to the audience. We don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if Genie makes $5 a year or 10 billion a year. I don't care. It's not my money. I'm watching and I'm investing my time. We all are in watching competitive games. And if we can see that you're competitive and you're getting as far as you can, I'll pat you on the back. Hey man, they went as far as they could, came up short. But I don't want to see coming up short when you shouldn't when you're a 3rd seed. Losing 4-1 as a 3rd seed is a very bad look.
I want to ask this out there. Turbo is talking about how pleased Luka Doncic takes us to the promised land in 2025. Would be nice. I've always said that there is a small pathway. Seeing something similar to what I saw with the Indiana Pacers this past season, there is a pathway to that possibility. But a lot of things have to go right with the Lakers, and a lot of things have to go wrong with the guys that are projected, or the teams that are projected that are supposed to be above the Lakers this upcoming season. I think that Luke can take him a long way, Joe. If that the team and LeBron acquiesce to him as the star on that team, they can go a long way, even in a playoff run. But I think there's only so much that he can do until the talent takes over. They have good matchups with him in place against several other teams, but then you get to a team with a lot more size. That could be a problem. And I'm not sure Rob is going to want to address that this season because he, as you know, Joe, he is still saving his piggy bank for what's upcoming the next summer and the next summer after that.
The parity in the NBA leaves a little bit of a crack open in the door.
Just a little.
And the Lakers know that. We try to make it make sense by saying Luka's going to be much better than he was last year. Fair enough. I think that's fair to say. LeBron, if he can stay the same with less minutes, cool. And then everyone else at least a notch up than what they did last year. Even someone like Marcus Smart, if he plays a little bit better than he did last year, that'll help.
He
And it'll
plays
go
a
a long
little
way.
bit more than last year. That'll
Yeah.
really help.
Yeah, and that's part of that's the availability part is that talent. Are you available? Being available is the number one. Frank Sinatra said 90% of it is being there. Just like I told you the example of the gym. Get to the gym. Just get up and get to the gym. And then once you get there, you'll start working out. You're not going to get there and go, oh, shoot, you know what? I don't want to be here. I'm going to leave. It's very rare. I'm sure it's happened, but it's rare. Usually you'll just go and work out. So 90% of it is getting there. Just get there. And have pride in trying to. LeBron James, you want to put a button on this? You really want to put a button on this? How would you like to go out after your 23rd season, winning your 5th championship? I think that's a hell of a story. And maybe he doesn't retire, gives it another shot. And I'm on record saying I would give LeBron another year if he was valuable in a championship run. Absolutely. And he has to be valuable on a championship run. There's not a lot of talent on this team. The Lakers need LeBron James to be a 24/7 guy.
In 70 games.
In 70 games and then being available all playoffs. They need LeBron. Imagine LeBron winning a championship this year. It really, really puts a lot of things on his side. It really does.
So let me ask you this, Joe. We see Luka carrying a Slovenia team right now, probably to a little bit better than expected turn. Because again, there's I think some notable exceptions that didn't play this time around for Slovenia. So his team going into here was not the most talented of teams that Slovenia could have put out there, but still, he's been able to get it done so far. Let's say this is a famous word on the show here, precursor to what may happen with the Lakers. And the Lakers play a little bit beyond what most people expect. Turbo is one of those that does expect it, but let's just say they do play a little bit more than what most people expect around the time of the trade deadline. Let's say they're in second or third in the Western Conference, which puts them squarely in the talk of playoff chase, playoff hunt, etc., etc. Do you see any type of reevaluation of that thinking of the put a little bit in now, but saving the rest for later? Do you see that possibly changing if the Lakers look like they can go on a little bit larger run than maybe most people expect?
Change to what?
As far as, the timeline, meaning you go a little bit more all in. You make trades to get players that help boost your overall depth.
You would have to add talent without giving up talent. If you can do that, yeah.
Because they have expiring contracts, and the teams in February that are not doing as well, Joe, they'll be thinking about taking on some of those expiring contracts to free themselves up some more cap space that summer.
The talent, we have to wait to see how that talent develops elsewhere. What is it? What is the likelihood of a team that's trying to compete for a playoff seed, and then all of a sudden here comes January and they're just in the dumps? Do they then want to get rid of some contracts? Is it like baseball? Basketball is not like baseball in a lot of ways. What team would want to trade? What team that's going to be going into this year is going to say, you know what, we need to start over. We can't keep doing this anymore. that has some talent. But then what do the Lakers have to give? They don't have anything other than an expiring contract. But is that expiring contract going to be just Gabe? They're not going to just take Gabe and Kleber because they're expiring contracts. They're going to want to get something else for that. So what team is right now going to go into this season saying, okay, we're going to make a playoff run here?
Things changed during course of the season. Like, for instance, Philadelphia. Philadelphia last season, heading into the season, thought they were going to be doing a lot better than they did. Come February, they realized that they were destined for a lottery team, and that changes your perception, Joe, doesn't it?
So the problem with Philly thing, because I did think about Philly, is Joel Embiid is contracted until 2029. Paul George.
Well, no, I'm just using them as an example.
No, it's a good example, though. It's a good example because that's the team. That's one of the teams that comes to mind that they're going to try to go and win with Joel Embiid, Maxey, George, Oubre, all those guys. But what if they get into January and they're 20 and 34, 20 and 30, 20 and 25, let's say. I think it's 45 games by then, right? What do you do? Okay, they're fine. Like, all right, you know what? We need to do something here. We need to just clear it out. Does somebody want Paul George? And let's say Paul George is having a good year, but they're just not winning. It'd
have to be a bounce back year because he was terrible last year.
Right. So what he's getting paid $51 million. Right? He's getting paid 51. He's getting paid.
He'd have to play really
low
good.
50s for the next 3 years. So I'm just this is just conversation. This is just,
of course,
the only way you can try to find something that's somewhat logical in this. So you set up the question of what if they start to play? What if the Lakers start to play so well they're like, man, this team looks like it's going to compete. Okay. Who's been playing well? It's very likely Luka. It's very likely LeBron James. Is Austin Reeves really, really helping? Is Rui Hachimura having a career year? Is DeAndre Ayton having his best season since he went to the finals? Okay, cool. Now, do you break up that chemistry? Do you break it up? Because in my head, I'm going, okay, you're rolling well. Do you break it up? However, if you look at, let's say, a Paul George who's making 50+ mil, and then you start thinking, man, if this team, if we can trade some expiring contracts like Kleber, Vincent, and then we put in Rui in there because he's got the highest number of the expiring contracts. That deal is only, what is that? A little over 40. So you'd still have to find another, 10 to $15 million.
I'd probably target somewhere like, again, I go back to New Orleans, who does have aspirations. And you and I both know, looking at that team, it should not have those kind of aspirations, but there is young talent on that team. I know that Herb Jones signed a extension. I would target him or Trey Murphy again, and even give up a first to see if you can pry one of those two young players for that.
So you got to ask yourself this question. Forget about the feelings for Paul George and all that. I'm talking about the scenario.
Okay.
That the scenario that would make sense for Philly, because now they are going to get 3 expiring contracts plus, let's say it's a 3-team deal, just so that the Lakers can cover the remaining 14-15 mil. And then they can get a first-round pick from here, or maybe the Lakers give them a first-round pick that's protected, whatever. Bottom line is, you go into the trade deadline saying, man, guys, if we can get one more guy that we know is a very good basketball player, and Paul George is still a very good basketball player. He's better than Rui. So that you can have him there playing with Austin, playing with LeBron, and playing with probably an MVP Luka. I feel like I'm I'm pretty happy going into a playoff with Paul George playing well during the year and being the third option. I think that's a hell of a upgrade if you want to go all in and win it. It has to be something like that because no one is going to trade quality for quality. They're just not. It's not going to help the Lakers. Reeves and Rui are not at the level of Paul George, other than the fact that Philly gets so tired of their situation. They're like, look, how do we get rid of this contract so we can sort of start over? No one's going to take Joel Embiid's contract. He's going to be making $70 million in the last year of his contract. No one's going to take that guy with his injury history. They're not going to trade Maxey because that's what they're going to build their team with. He's going to be one of the pieces. Paul George. Everything has to come together, but it would have to be something like that for us to go into February after the All-Star break and go, all right, the Lakers are on a roll. They're a second seed. They look like they're rolling. MVP right now is Luka. Do the Lakers go and try and get a guy that can take them, that can help them go over that and go, ooh, if they get him, they're going to be good for the playoffs. That right there is how it has to set up.
Okay.
And the cool thing is, he's got 2 more years after this. It's not like you're getting him. You got to go pay this guy for 4 years after this year, or even 3 years. Do you risk it? Do you, it's risk, right? You got to risk it. You win a championship this year by making a move like that. It doesn't matter. Even if you don't win again during the rest of his contract, you made that deal. You risked a lot, but you put another banner up in the rafters. But that's the riverboat gambling thing part of it. Just like how notice I didn't get upset. I never got upset with JJ Redick running with the starters all of the second half. That's thinking out the box. I support that. I like that. Just like when Belichick would put his receivers.
Why they faded though in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, but there was no choice. What are you going to do? Put Jackson Hayes in there? That's not going to work either. When you try something out of nowhere, you're using. I always forget his last name. The receiver for the Patriots who played cornerback, Troy. What was it? Anyways, Belichick used his starting receiver to play corner. He uses his outside linebackers as tight ends. You got to shake things up. You got to do something that's out of not status quo. And it always seemed like it worked. It didn't work, but I appreciate going for it. Something new, something unique. I don't know. They were close. They almost did it, right? Almost is not good enough, but I'm going to support if you're going to try to think out of the box to try to win. I'm always going to support
Troy Brown,
that.
by the way.
Troy Brown, thank you. Troy Brown. Thank you, guys. Okay. And it's funny. It's interesting, too, Gerald. And the reason why I use Troy Brown as the example. Troy Brown was the guy, and I forgot this guy's first name, when the Patriots were playing the Chargers in 2006, and a lot of people say that might have been the best Charger team of the 2000s. Florence, the cornerback for the Chargers, intercepted the ball. All he had to do was get down, and that game would have likely been over. They could have run out the clock, the game would have been over. What ended up happening was Troy Brown swiped the ball, fumbled, they got the ball back. And then, of course, Brady got a second chance, and you know what happens when he gets a second chance. You're toast. The Chargers ended up blowing that playoff game and likely blowing a chance at winning a Super Bowl that year. And why?
Yeah.
Why? What happened? Troy Brown was playing cornerback, and conditioned to make that play. It coincides with everything I'm saying here. The mentality of winning never, ever should go away. You should always try to win. That's what this is about. And anybody who does that from my lifetime have always benefited from it. They've always won. No one has ever regretted not trying to win. Scaling back, worrying about this, worrying about that. You saw it in The Last Dance. You saw what Reinsdorf was doing the second year that Jordan broke his leg. He wanted to come back, right? He wanted to come back.
Yes.
Well, Michael, there's a 5% chance you might not even play ever again. Well, did you want, and then he gave him the example of, if I told you that 1 out of every 10 of these pills is poisonous, would you take that chance? He goes, well, it depends how bad my headache is. I mean, that was one of the most genius responses I've ever heard in my life. Had nothing to do with anything other than F your weak mentality. I'm playing. Get rid of this garbage. And look what it did. And all those years Kobe played after a high ankle sprain. How many high ankle sprains did Kobe get and he was playing the next day?
Quite
or
a
the day
few.
before after that? How many? He still played 20 years. Don't tell me that doesn't work. It's all, everything's in your mind. Everything is here. Be strong, and if you're going to be a competitor, compete. You're getting paid how much money? 30 million, 40 million, 50 million? Make it, earn it. Show us that, and we'll respect you, and we will pat you on the back. So I don't know how this is going to go, but I still feel that there needs to be an acquisition during the year for the Lakers to probably get over into that. Could this be a threat to Oklahoma City? It's just, I don't see how that can't not be some. I have to see a talent infusion before the deadline is done for me to go, because as good as the team plays above their heads right now with the current roster, I still think they need one more guy. Because playoffs is about the stars. Playoffs is about the stars.
I still think need to. Right now, I see them only as 7 deep, Joe. I think they need to get to 9 deep as far as quality players they can put out there.
In the regular season, yeah. But in the playoffs, that won't matter.
I
all
don't
7
know. We saw. Okay, I disagree with you there. This past season, you take a look at the teams that thrived: Indiana, Oklahoma. They both had 10 players they could throw out there, and they did during the course of that finals.
Their teams are there's Shea Gilgeous, and then that's it.
Well,
it's
Williams,
evened out.
Holmgren?
I don't consider him a superstar. He's not a superstar.
Okay.
It's Shea Gilgeous, and then the second best player in that series was Tyrese Halliburton.
Okay.
And he's not a superstar. He's a very, very good player, but he's not an elite player in my view. And even Shea Gilgeous being an MVP and being elite, he's still not, in my view, a guy like LeBron, a guy like Steph, a guy like Kawhi, a guy like Giannis. I don't see him that way. So, yeah. Yeah, Lamar Jackson, while I'm not blaming him for the loss tonight, at some point Lamar Jackson is going to have to get to that area where he needs to be able to clean up for his team. It's not fair, but that's part of being the star. When someone messes up, you got to be able to clean it on top of the fact that you're playing well.
Yeah,
Derrick Henry
Derek, like you
fumble.
said, Corbina. Yeah.
The Derrick Henry fumble did hurt.
162 yards, Joe, but nobody remember that. They'll only remember the
Right,
fumble.
but they also they still had that drive after Buffalo missed this 2-point conversion, which I was talking to the TV saying to McDermott, "Don't go for 2 until you have to." And of course, he went for 2 and he missed it. And then the next drive, the Ravens missed the extra point. And I'm like, "See, now it came out okay in the end." But McDermott has a habit of doing the little things terribly. They got away with it this time, but Lamar Jackson on that drive needed to get the first down. You are the MVP. By the way, I didn't think he was the MVP for the 2 he won. He was the MVP last year, and of course he didn't win it. I feel like him and Jokic have the same career sometimes. It's like every
Funny
time
how
they're
that is.
MVPs, they don't get it. And the years they win the MVP, I'm like, wait a minute, what? No, it should be to this guy. But Lamar needed to get a first down in that drive, and that has been the bane of his existence. Not being able to make that drive when it matters in a lot of these games. You have to get a first down. The Derrick Henry thing had subsided. You were still up 2 points. You get a first down, the game is over. Lamar Jackson, MVP, greatest things since sliced bread, all the people telling me this. You got to make those plays. If you don't, this is where that can't win these games starts to creep up bigger and bigger.
It's true.
Yeah, the Browns, the Cincinnati Bengals.
I cannot believe I won. I cannot believe I won my money league, Joe, and I have Burrow and Chase as my quarterback and wide receiver. I cannot believe it.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. First of all, I don't know if it's. I don't know what the deal is with Cincinnati in game 1 of does it really need? Can they come into a first game and play like they're supposed to against the Browns with Flacco? I know it's a division game, and division games are different, but come on, guys.
And they won still too. That's the hard part.
Yeah, I guess that's the silver lining. They won a game that usually they were losing last year, so maybe that'll jumpstart them. I have Higgins.
Yeah, there you go.
I have Higgins, and he didn't. He had a better game than Jamar did, but I was counting
so
on.
I know.
I was counting on Jamar to get double team every game the whole year. So I said Higgins has got his money. Burrow's going to be seeing single coverage for him. I could see him being a Juju Smith-Schuster in 2018 when I wiped the floor of everyone in fantasy football. I lost one game that entire year, and that one game that I lost, I was this close to having an undefeated fantasy football season. Travis Kelce. This is the first year Patrick Mahomes became a starter. Travis Kelce was running an out, and Mahomes had him at the corner of the end zone. I mean, right in stride, and the safety came in at the perfect moment and knocked it out. Had Kelce caught that, I would have won that game, and I would have finished 15-0 in fantasy football.
Dawkins here. Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Please like and subscribe if you can to get the latest notifications on when we go live with one of our LFP shows. He says he thinks Luka can carry the team if LeBron doesn't let his ego get in the way and thinks he's the number one option. That's actually been repeated on more than one occasion in our chat already, Joe. There seems to be this fear that LeBron, I don't want to say malcontent or cancer or go that far. It could progress that far, but the battle of egos. Again, I talked about it before, Joe, about seeding. Remember how he was all about making himself the 1B to Anthony Davis's 1A. Remember how good that sounded, but it never quite happened? Will we see and hear that kind of rhetoric again coming up at training camp? Oh, Luka's the man. I'm the 1B.
I think the AD setup was on AD, not LeBron. AD wasn't capable of being a 1.
I could appreciate it.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that had anything to do with LeBron's ego. I don't know, nothing. It's just AD is just not a guy that wanted to take the baton. He just wants to be AD.
Yeah.
If LeBron does that, it'll be very obvious that he's doing it, because LeBron doesn't know how to be subtle. LeBron is by far and away the biggest. He is the Jennifer Lopez of sports. She can't hide it either. She cannot hide her divaness. And I wasn't a big Aretha Franklin fan either. She had a habit of being a bitch to a lot of the female singers. You're supposed to be an icon, and she is. You're supposed to show those who have your talent to sing, but there was this divaness there, and I don't respect that. You don't have to do that. This is you guys are supposed to win, and you're in your 23rd season. This isn't competing in 2009, and even then, I already had enough of my fill with Kobe and Shaq. Kobe and Shaq ruined what would have been the greatest dynasty. It had the potential of being the greatest dynasty in any sport, because they wanted to have the limelight over each other. And I blame both equally for that mess up. I don't say oh no, it was Shaq, or it was both their faults. And we were deprived of not being able to see the 2000s. Shaq had just turned 28 when he won his first championship. And you've heard me say this: 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. That's the basketball player's prime. Those 5 years. Now, we had a 28, we had 29 and 30. But then we lost it at the fifth, when we should have had, Shaq won 2 years later. Shaq almost won in 05, his what should have been his MVP season, right? So imagine if you'd had that with the Lakers. Imagine if you'd won a couple championships in those years. Now you're sitting at 5 championships with Kobe and Shaq. Then maybe you can start to form some things around Shaq and a determined Kobe. It will be obvious. I'm just going to say that if LeBron turns into a diva in this thing, it's going to be obvious. And if you think that he's gotten it bad before, it will come with swords and pitchforks this time, because now he's sabotaging another guy that is supposed to be the future. AD was never going to be the future, and I think we all started to kind of get wind of that after the last couple of years. We knew he wasn't going to be the guy. But what we were hoping for someone else to come and be the one, like Luka, and then if AD was the second guy, clearly cool. But obviously that didn't work out that way.
Well, I was on.
AD to get him.
I mean, you were kind of wanting to commit to AD long term before he did get traded. I mean, I said at that time, I just don't think he could stay healthy. He signed that last extension very quickly without even having to wait another season where he could have gotten more, simply because he knows his own body and he knows that there's only a limited time left. I don't see him, he could prove me wrong, but I don't see him as a 36, 37-year-old center in the league. I see him playing out this contract, and maybe, I don't know, maybe his health might be limiting him from being at that level after that.
Doesn't matter. They traded that issue for a bona fide one. So talking about carrying
and
teams,
6 years difference in age, I believe. Correct?
Luka's been carrying. Luka carried the Mavericks for 5 years, 6 years. he's going to carry this team for the next 5 years at the very least in his prime. So I think we'll be fine. And he's not a high flyer. He's not going to be one of those guys that's not going to be valuable late in his 30s with technology being what it is. If Chris Paul stayed functional and valuable late in his 30s with his knee problems early on in his career, Luka Doncic is going to be able to do that as well.
Kurt, I talked about this at the beginning of the show. No more bringing back Dwight talk, please. Kurt.
I think he's just messing with you, right?
Kurt. He's just being Kurt. It's always Kurt. What's up, Kurt? He knows what I'm talking about. He's been here for many part of the times over the past 3 seasons where, we got to bring back Dwight. Got to bring back Dwight. Got to bring back Dwight. No, you cannot bring back Dwight. He's got his don't they have a bust in Springfield? Don't they have a bust at the Hall of Fame and all that?
Is this some kind of bust? Yes, it's very impressive.
Yes, Nick again reference there. Yes, I still gotta catch the new one. I didn't get a chance to see, but I heard it's been pretty. I heard it's pretty good, so I have faith in Liam Neeson after all. So I was concerned when that trailer came out, but I'll go ahead and I'll check it out. Kurt Fair, great to have you here. Great to have everyone here. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Again, I'm working on stuff behind the scenes. Hopefully, I will be able to go ahead and show you the fruits of my labor here starting next week, especially to our members first. But before we head out, Joe, I know that you are a little bit happier in a better mood on Sunday with the Dodgers. Kershaw, as I think I said before you came on, isn't it interesting how the oldest man on the team or the oldest pitcher on the team has the best record, especially after the Saturday debacle, again by the bullpen. Wonder who called that. Yes, but at least you're ending Sunday weekend on a good note with Aaron Rodgers taking you to the victory and the Dodgers taking you to a victory as well.
Yeah, it was a good day. I think today was more about football. I love football. Love it. Absolutely love it. Everything about it. The grass, the hits, the pain, the violence. It's just football always hit something, even when I was a kid, before I became a vicious, crazy person. And my disdain for a lot of the things around it was out of frustration of it not being the way it should be. And I really, really felt like today, I felt like I was watching football in the 2000s again. I could not. I was talking to my friend. I'm like, dude, are you guys watching these games? Like, it didn't matter what it was, what game it was. It was Arizona game. It was the Cleveland Cincinnati game. These guys were hitting each other, man. I mean, it was pain through the TV. Every game was just like, man, are you watching it? Like, you could just see these guys just laying the wood. Not a single penalty where you're like, maybe a mistake here and there. You know, when the game, you know the difference when the game is fast and you make a decision. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones that you're trying to make a tackle and they say, it's an 15-yard penalty, and the guy's trying to tackle literally a millisecond before the guy puts his head down, something like that. I didn't see one call like that all day. Hard hits all day. Saw the kickoff returns. Man, I was so happy to see kickoff returns again. I actually was nervous. I was nervous. Every time Gibson. Is it Gibson or Gibson? It's Gibson, right?
Gibson.
Is it Gibson? I heard Gibson.
I think
Anyways, Gibson's the returner for the Jets, for those of you who don't know. Every time he got the ball at the 1 or 2, I was like, oh, shit. And then I realized after a few of those, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I'm nervous again with kickoffs. Hell yeah. Before it was like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. So thank you, competition committee. And God help me. Thank you, Roger Goodell. God, I never thought I'd say that again. For making the kickoff relevant again and bringing a little bit back of football in this. Thank you.
And best, come on.
What do you say?
Oh, he said, do you still think Jokic is the best after today in EuroLeague, where they lost today over Giannis? And I'd say
Best,
10 times out of 10.
best what?
Sorry, best player
Dude,
in the world, best player of the decade.
Jokic is
all the stuff we've said.
Jokic is number one in the 20s. He's number one. And it's not even
Not
close.
that hard. Oh, but his defense.
You guys in your defense, stop listening to Twitter and Stephen A. Smith, please. No one talked about Magic Johnson's defense. No one talked about Larry Bird's defense. All they saw was MVPs and championships. Focus. Goddamn guys in the damn Twitter magnets.
Come on, Best. Come on. You know the truth. You know it's Jokic. Giannis,
Jokic
great
is
player.
the number one player of the 20s. Now, that could change if SGA wins 3 straight MVPs, sure, but I don't think that's likely. There's a chance that Luka could be the 20s player as well. He has a better chance at winning back-to-back MVPs.
I would say it'd be more Luka, because we got to remember SGA at the beginning of this decade, Joe, was at a different level at that point in time. It has progressed greatly since then. But like you said, if either would be in that conversation before the end of the decade, they would have to win 2 to 3 MVPs and multiple championships for their team, or at least one championship. How about that to be in the conversation? Because Jokic has only won one championship. Giannis has only won one championship, best, and has one less MVPs. So come on. The guy's averaging a triple-double in the best league on the planet, virtually. Yeah, last year he did average a triple-double, I believe. Is that correct?
He did.
Triple-double?
He just missed the 30, though. Just missed it. The 30-point triple-double.
30-point triple-double. And you guys even argue this at this point? Come on. Give me a break. Give me a break, Best. Luka will pass Jokic this season. Well, he could win MVP this season, Best. I'm not going to disagree with you there. He is third in the line of betting here in Vegas. I won't say it differently than that. What I'm saying is this: when you, I know he's referring, when he's made that original comment, Joe, to what we said about Jokic being the best player of this decade. It's just, what do you see as the overall body of work? It just stands out more than the rest, Joe. It's just that simple. You cannot deny what Jokic has done and earned throughout the entire time of the 20s.
Who would deny it?
Best, I think, was trying to infer.
Best, you need to change your name to Worst League now with that talk.
He said, yes, offensively, Jokic is better, but Giannis
no,
has...
there is no yes, no. I don't want to... Who in the league right now is a 1-1 on offense and defense? I'll wait.
Because Giannis is better off the ball. As a one-on-one defender, he's good, but even he has had issues with certain offensive players. Best. He is best as a floater, as a guy who's like a free safety, Joe. You've seen him. That's when he's best, is when he is playing off the ball. Because there's been times on the show in their early round departures, like when they got defeated in that first round. I think of Budenholzer's last year. I'm like, why didn't you play Giannis on their best player more often? And they didn't. If he's so great defensively, he is best as a rover, as a guy, as a helper, as a free safety type deal. That's what his best attributes are, because he is so athletically gifted. You are correct, Best. Nobody's taking away the greatness of Giannis as far as is concerned. But as a one-on-one defender, he is good, but obviously he has not been able to be at that level that I think you're seeing him as. He is, again, more of a helper, more of a roamer, more of a defensive shot blocker, more of a rim protector type defender, which he is one of the elite players in this past decade at. I will never disparage him on that. But as an overall player, his shooting is still something he's never developed. So if you talk about the defense for Jokic, you have to go ahead and have the shooting for Giannis in that same conversation, Joe.
The only two-way player right now you could give to is Jalen Williams. He's a guy that averages almost 22 a game and is an all-defensive player. That's it. The two-way player that you all keep yapping about is you're delusional. Is Steph Curry a defender, an all-league defender? I didn't hear that shit when he was winning a championship at 15, 17, 18, and 22. I'm telling you, I already know where you're getting this stuff. Stop watching it and listening to it. Focus on the game. No one in the NBA has been better than Jokic in the first 6 seasons of this decade. No one. And he should have 4 MVPs.
Yes, I've been watching EuroBasket best. Teams triple team Giannis, not Jokic. Come on, best. Give it a rest. We're not caring about EuroBasket. If you care about who is the best European basketball player, then maybe it is Luka. But I'm here for the NBA. The NBA is the best of the best playing 82 games. You're caring about some side league in Europe is what you're caring about, where not all the best players are there. Many of the best players are not there. Right, Joe? So I don't know how you even have this argument or have this discussion. You're worried about what Giannis is doing overseas against national teams that may not even be fielding their best players without even any of the U.S., Canada, or other international players there maybe involved as well. So I don't know how you can even be having this discussion. Just sometimes you guys make these comments out there. The proof is in the pudding. 3 MVPs for Jokic. How can you guys deny it? Now, who is the best player this upcoming season? It may very well be, of course, Luka. It may be Giannis. It may be Jokic. We don't know yet. But if you're basing everything off of the EuroLeague, seriously? The EuroLeague. You're basing your evaluations off the EuroLeague. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's what we've come to, Joe. That's what we've come to.
Interpretation is, I mean, it's a very fluid thing. So maybe he just feels things for things, but where I get off that is the regurgitation of why. I've heard that statement in everyone. Luka heard it. Jokic heard it. It's always the same stupid response. Yeah, but he doesn't play defense. What do you mean he doesn't play defense? What do you mean? You want him to be a lockdown? You want him to have 3 blocks a game? Like what's defense? What defense? When you win MVP, what is it? Did James Harden didn't play defense? He won an MVP. Does Tracy McGrady, when he was playing in his peak, did he play defense? How about Vince Carter? Did he play defense? AI would steal the ball a lot, but he couldn't cover anybody either. I didn't hear anything about his defense. There's very, very few guys that can do both at an elite level. Very, 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 very few. Kawhi, Kobe. In the 21st century, Kawhi, Kobe. Who am I missing, G?
as far as Kawhi, Kobe, as far as both both players.
Who
Jordan,
were Kawhi was Kawhi ever a first team All NBA and first team defense?
I believe so. I'm gonna check. Let me check
Same
just to
year.
make sure. I'm gonna check. You might be something pretty senior. You might be persona non grata here.
It's very rare. Pippen, Jordan, Kobe, maybe Kawhi. I have to see if his offense
I'm checking now.
warranted first team.
Yes, he was.
Okay, good.
Yeah, he was.
And
'cause
even
the
if he
year
wasn't
was,
on, he's masterful in both. So who else are we missing? Was Westbrook was never on an all defensive team, was he?
no, I don't think he was.
Yeah. And Chris Paul, even though he was a good defender, team defender, he couldn't shut anybody down. He was good at angles. He was good in spots. He'd get a lot of steals. I'm talking about someone who can lock your ass down
Let me put it to you like this, Joe.
and score on your ass.
Well, let me put it to you like this. Last year,
LeBron, obviously, yeah, LeBron. Sorry, thank you, Nick. LeBron.
So Best, you're talking about the EuroLeague. I'll go one better for you. How about the NBA playoffs? The NBA playoffs, okay, and just an outstanding performance by Giannis in that, as far as 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 assists. But his team didn't get it done against Miami. How come he couldn't carry his team past Miami? Then you have Nikola Jokic almost taking by they beat the Clippers in that first round, Joe, and he averaged a triple double. In the next round against OKC, he almost beat them and 28, 14, and 6 himself. So again, these guys are just having great numbers when it matters the most, but is Giannis making his teammates better? Jokic, one of his best attributes that I've seen is he makes a lot of players that he plays with better, Joe. You see that on the floor. I mean, Bruce Brown, what happened to his career when he left Denver? KCP, what happened when he left Denver? Just these guys, you see the residual effects when you're not playing with a guy like Jokic. He's just so talented and sees so much. And if you're just holding him back because of his defense, I don't think that's a fair evaluation. Or if you're just seeing it from what he's doing in EuroLeague. So you're basing the fact that he is a better player over the course of a decade based off of what you're seeing in 2025 EuroLeague. I don't think that's a fair evaluation. Now, if you're saying he's the best player now on the planet, fine. That could be the case. We don't know coming up in the season, but we need a full season, I think, to evaluate that before you just take that title off of Jokic's shoulders.
I think I'm done with the who's the best argument. I think we've had our fill. Best of all time, best player. Just let it go. I'm not having this conversation. This is an opinion question. No one's right or wrong. It's a waste of time.
I agree, Kurt. If Ahmed can find a jump shot somewhere in his bag of tricks, Ahmed Thompson might become that next great two-way player. Do you call Wembanyama a great two-way player?
He could be.
As long as he's in the league, he's going to lead the league.
I don't count. I'm not really thinking about bigs. I'm thinking about perimeter players because bigs typically sit back and play defense. I'm more directed at perimeter players, forwards and guards. Because any big man can sit back and block shots and wait for the ball handler, the player to come to him. The hard part is and that's where they screwed up with the voting in the defensive player of the year. The hard part is guarding one-on-one. Yet they gave 90% of the award to centers who just sit back, block shots, and get rebounds. I'm not trying to trivialize that. I'm not saying Alonzo didn't deserve it, Dikembe didn't deserve it, or Dwight Howard didn't deserve it. But the criteria, they won based off the criteria that these voters created, so they earned it. But it shouldn't have been that. The hardest part about playing defense is getting down in your stance and trying to stop the guy ahead of you, not and trying to keep him either going baseline or try to deflect a shot or make it hard for him to shoot. Not a center waiting for a guy that's smaller than him to try to get around him to make a basket and then get a block. I feel like that's a lot easier than a perimeter player trying to stop someone.
Dawkins says, any suggestions on how to improve the NBA All-Star game? Tell us
Stop
what your ideas
messing
are.
with it. Just put East versus West, and players need to take it upon their pride. Someone, the leader of the league, LeBron, Steph, you're the faces of the NBA. Sorry, as good as Jokic and Shea and Giannis are, they're not the faces of the NBA are LeBron and Steph. I'm not even going to bring in Durant in this because Durant is just too ornery. He's got the constitution of a jilted woman every day. It's exhausting. So LeBron and Steph could change that and make it East versus West, make it competitive, earn it. The best players on the planet playing against each other, earn it. They used to do this. This isn't rocket science.
And it's not just the NBA All-Star game, Joe. It's all these All-Star games, for lack thereof. I mean, baseball, football. They just do flag football at the end of the season. There you go. It's gone. It's done.
When they took it out of Hawaii, that's when it died.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be the end of the year. It's supposed to be the end of the year. Everyone participates. You enjoy Hawaii. You enjoy this vacation after a long season. And you play. You have limited play calling because you want to keep it basic. You want to keep it easy. And guys played well. But no, they can't have that. You have to watch a bunch of freaking lazy scumbags who make a lot of money whine about how it's too difficult.
The money, it's just too great. The money that's on the line as far as if they get injured or anything like that, it's just become too great.
Players in the 90s were making millions of dollars then. I'm not going to buy into that either. Why did they play? Why did they play? Why did in the 2000s? Why those guys were making millions of dollars too? They played. Just a mental excuse. Another mental excuse. It keeps getting softer and softer and softer and softer. How many guys had season-ending injuries in the Pro Bowl in the NFL? How many? I only know one guy that got hurt during the playing in the sand. He tore his knee. Edwards from New England, Robert Edwards. He tore his ACL playing. It wasn't even in the Pro Bowl. It was the activities in the sand.
And the baseball All-Star game, the last one I remember was Ray Fosse with Johnny. Oh no, was it Johnny Bench and Ray Fosse? Or am I wrong on that one?
Baseball is too easy of a sport.
Pete Rose and Ray Fosse? I think it's. Or am I wrong on that? Guys, let me know if the old All-Star game where they had to play at the plate, and I think it was Ray Fosse and Pete Rose, if I'm not mistaken. That was because Pete Rose was hustling. So,
well, that was his name, Charlie Hustle, because his dad one time, I remember there was a story where he didn't run to first base hard enough. I think it was on a walk. And Pete had a good game, and his dad goes, "Why didn't you run to first on that walk?"
Yeah, it is Pete Rose, Ray Fosse. Yeah, that's
no. Clippers will not be good. Clippers will be useless like they've always been.
I'm not inclined to go that far, Turbo. I think they do have a lot of depth on the team. It is a very old team, very, very old team. I think the Kawhi decision and how that's laid itself out is that's gonna dictate their whole year right there, Turbo. If the NBA gives Kawhi a breather on that reprieve and gives the organization a reprieve, which they shouldn't, because even if Ballmer didn't know, it's still circumventing the cap as far as how that $28 million was laid itself out there. It still does not look good. It's detrimental to the league. And if that's the case, somebody should seek some discipline. either Kawhi or the team. However, somebody should get punishment for what went on with aspiration. So how that plays itself out is key to their season. But I think they do have a lot of depth and a lot of versatility on the roster, but also a lot of age, which may come back to bite them later in the season. But I do expect a decent season from them. So I do see them as a threat to the Lakers because they have something that the Lakers don't have, and that's depth. I mean, Lakers have the top end talent edge on them, but yeah, they are more versatile on their roster than the Lakers are right now. You're a trashy olive. Where are you guys going? Olives with chili. All right. Don't get us back into the olives again. Donka says place a cap on how much a player makes to be eligible. If they make over a certain amount, they are not allowed to participate. Give the lower paid player incentive to play hard. Back on the All-Star.
I don't believe threatening and making grown-ass men professionals to do things they're supposed to do. Sack up and just play. Have some pride. Have some balls. Not a lot of that lately. Unless, of course, it means impregnating a bunch of skanks. They're good at doing that.
Okay. Dara says, I'm not a punitive guy, so I say the league should just remove the cap and let Mark Walters spend lavishly. Well, but then even they lose out to Steve Ballmer because Steve Ballmer is the richest owner in the NBA and quite possibly one of the richest owner in sports. So he could spend more lavishly than anyone.
That doesn't work. Paul Allen tried to do it back in the day.
Oh, I know. But that's what I don't know if Dari was serious when he said that or not. I'm hoping he was kidding. Let's put it that way. I know you're not a big fan of the CBA, but Joe, you would want just an open, free for all spending.
I'm a free market guy, so I don't really. I'd venture into that more than I would what they're doing now.
Okay.
And if you feel like you're not able to compete, well, the excuse is everybody that owns a team in the NBA are billionaires, right? Everything's more global, right? Social media. You have the opportunity to market. What is Dallas market wise? The city of Dallas.
As far as television market or just overall size wise? Because Houston is the largest city in Texas, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think it's the fourth largest market in America, right? Is Houston?
Yeah. Yes.
What's Dallas?
Could you say top 15?
Okay, so top 15, yet they have the highest value team in the Dallas Cowboys. And why is that?
I think that's been established over the course of decades. America's team, especially how it was created in the 80s and 90s, and how that's sustained. Forever, how much criticism Jerry gets, he's been able to sustain that image as far as how he gets the Cowboys out there in the pantheon because of how the large following that they have. I mean, he's still able to fill up the AT&T Stadium 100,000 strong up virtually every time out. I mean, for all the stuff we say about him as a general manager, quote unquote, I use that term loosely, and his decision making there, you cannot argue with the way he's been able to sustain the image of the Cowboys to a worldwide, like the Lakers. The Lakers are marketed now on a worldwide basis. The Cowboys have been doing that for quite some time.
Okay, so I just saw an update here. Dallas has moved from, I believe, 6th to 4th now. Houston is now 6th.
Okay.
So, yeah. Now we're looking at, but the population is only 1 million and change, right, in Dallas? So compared to LA, what's LA, 10 million?
And with LA, it's not just about the LA part of it. You and I both know that. It's LA is like when we say LA is almost spread out to far as where you live, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
That's truly LA. LA is just like New York. New York is just not just what you see right there at the center of town. It's about the expansive county and how many people live throughout it. LA, it's not just the 10 million like that live in that concentrated area. It's like the 30 million, 40 million that live beyond it that are all within proximity to go ahead and catch a game or be a part of that marketplace.
Well, it's always a combination of everything. Money and operations. San Antonio is not a big market yet. They've been successful for 30 years now.
True.
Make it happen. Make it work.
Well, with that, it is the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you guys joining us on this Lakers weekend. Hopefully you enjoyed our past hour and 45 minutes plus of conversation. If you have any questions for us, you can always hit us up on the comments after the show or Lakers Fast Break on social media or LakersFastBreak@yahoo.com. But Luka is continuing his success. Next game is against Germany. Xbox Mark is comparing himself to an olive. Okay. All right. I don't know what that means or
Olive
what that
skin.
does. Okay. Oh, okay. As far as that part of the skin. Okay.
Olive skin.
Okay. Well, I just know he has a propensity for olives, Joe, and we have a propensity for not liking olives. So,
Olives.
Everybody knows, that's been a long time viewer. Yes,
there are olives that I do like. They're the green ones that are in sangrias. Those are good. It's the black ones that get me.
Ugh, they're horrible. Okay, fair enough.
Olives.
Well, that's all that time you're spending out in Surfer's Paradise there,
Olive.
Mark, which I'm hoping you enjoy. So, there you go. It is, of course, the Lakers Fast Break. Truly appreciate you joining us again. Will we be making more olive bets this year? We'll see. It all depends on how this season lays itself out. I wouldn't bank my olives just yet. So we'll see what happens.
I think it's time to get out of the cheapy ones. There'll be something worth everyone's while coming up.
Okay, fair enough. I'll let Joe put himself into that situation.
I'm not eating rats or eating cockroaches, nothing like that. But it'd be something that, again, like worth somebody's while.
Okay, fair enough. Turbo says I'm staying here but charging my phone and listening. Well, Turbo, we are heading on out, but I do appreciate you sticking around the whole show. Best even criticizing us for our affinity for Jokic's play, but again, greatness with what we've seen from Giannis or Luka or Jokic. I'm looking forward to this season. SGA, I'm looking to see who will be the MVP coming out of this season. And definitely it looks like that Luka may be in that conversation from the way he's played in EuroLeague. I'll take that away from EuroLeague, but it does give me hope. And I do have concerns that maybe he's exerting too much, but he'll have time. He'll have time to recover before LeBron's training camp, if he does one, or the regular training camp at the end of the month. So it's just around the corner, guys. We're getting over that hump. It is the Lakers Fast Break. We're getting closer and closer to training camp, closer and closer to more shows per week. But for now, we'll be cruising on by here in the middle of the week. Looking forward to it. But once again, thanks to Joe Sorrell. Thanks to you out there. Thanks to everyone for being part of what we do each and every time out right here at the Lakers Fast Break Podcast.
We need that curtain affair sound.
Oh, copyrighted. Faster you can say.
Copyright these nuts.